And welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. This is the recruiting intel. This is where you get all the good stuff, the scoop, the behind-the-scenes stuff when it comes to recruiting. And Charlie, Texas football reports today.
Yeah.
They start practice tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is in a team mindset right now.
Right.
But we got to catch them up on recruiting because it never sleeps.
Never.
Sometimes I wish it would take a nap, but it won't. It never sleeps, brother. It's ghosting. Hey, welcome to the show. Hey, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. Help us continue to build out one of the best shows on the YouTube channel. We really do enjoy this, and we do appreciate you viewers for making us a part of your day. We got a few guys to talk about on the 2026 side.
Yeah.
A lot of people that look, the 26 class is looking really good, top 5 class so far. Mm-hmm. But there's a few spots to fill in. And so we're going to have the latest on Davin Benjamin. We're going to talk about Jake Kroll as well. And then a little bit on Hezzy Kent as Texas continues to look for a tight end offensive tackle in this cycle, because that's basically what it is. And then we're going to have the latest on a few really early targets on 2027, because these are guys that are must-gets. These are guys that need to be reminded. You got to get to know these guys right now. And so we're going to help you out with that. But we're going to start with Corona, California, Oaks Christian corner, Davin Benjamin. He dropped a top 5 last week. He's the #1 corner in the country for a reason. Like, this dude's got some serious ability on the Boise State field. Tell me a little bit what you like about Benjamin and what we're seeing here, brother.
Yeah, man, look, I like Benjamin as a total DB. Can he play corner? Can he play nickel? Can he play safety? I think he can play all of them. I think he's a total DB, a total good prospect. He's not afraid to come downhill and tackle you. He plays the ball well, especially in zone when he's facing a quarterback. He reads, reacts, and diagnoses plays really, really well. One of those, I use this word, you probably won't hear this much, a tough California kid. Like, he seemed like he had some swagger, some attitude to him, playing out there in California. But I like this kid a lot. You see there, he kind of separates the ball from the receiver. He's not afraid to. Well, he actually caught that one. I'll take that back. So he plays a little bit of receiver too, man. So I think he's a great prospect. I see why some of the top schools in the country are after this kid. Like I said, I like his ball skills, playing defense, and probably fits the mold of what Dwayne Akini wants, man. You got to have a ball hawk back there who can take away, get the offense more opportunities. I think this kid can do that.
And, Texas needs another defensive back. That's just part of it right now. They need another DB, whether it be a corner, a nickel, a safety. They need another one in this class. The fact that Haywood Howard Jr. and Samari Matthews are already in this class probably hurts Benjamin's chances a little bit. Victor Santiago asks us, is Benjamin considered a shutdown corner? I don't know if I call any high school kids shutdown corners, but he's pretty close. He has the makings of a shutdown corner. I'll say that much. I'm not sure if he's considered one just yet. But, I mean, when you're the top guy in your position and you've done so well for so long, and like you said, playing both sides of the ball, it's hard to ignore that. Texas wants another DB, Charlie. They need another one in this class. But it looks like Oregon's probably going to be the team to beat here. Yeah. If Texas doesn't have one of those other guys, maybe they push in a little bit more. Maybe the NIL part of it, gets increased or whatnot. But this is a guy that I think we've understood for a while. Oregon can't miss. Yeah. Like they've really focused in on this guy hard for the last year. They've put in the most effort. I thought USC and Ohio State was going to kind of be in the ranks a little bit, but they're not. This is a Pacific Northwest, Big Ten, and Texas top 5. And so at the end of the day, we think Oregon leads this right here. Texas has 2 really good corners in this class already. You wouldn't turn this guy down. He's a numbers buster of any sorts. But, Charlie, if he does wind up going to Oregon, where does Texas go? Do they go another corner? Do they try at nickel? Or do they try to bring another safety in with Yaheem Riley?
I think you're looking to probably bring in another safety with Yaheem Riley. We talked about this with our summer grades. We both got a post up about our summer recruiting grades for Texas. And so I think you look for another safety. You look at that cornerback room on the roster right now, it's loaded with a lot of young talent. Do you need to overload it with 3 or 4 guys in this class? You may not need to. And maybe at the end of the season, you can go to the portal. You may not need to. You can go 27 class and kind of load up. But if you get 2 guys you really, really like, I think you can go with safety. But Coach Orfe has identified and offered some other guys like Travis Stevenson. I hope I said his name right. Maybe Travis Stevenson.
Georgia Tech commit.
Yeah, Georgia Tech commit. And Jordan Broadnax, I think he's a Louisville commit. Another
Down
long
Louisiana.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", another long press type of corner. So you never know how those things recruiters may work out until December. But if you don't get him, you can maybe try to target one of those guys and see if you can flip him, or you may be good with the two you got because the room is already so loaded with so much young talent.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think Texas is handling it with house money at this point. Yeah. They're in such a good spot at each spot in the secondary that they can go out and try to cherry pick, and that's exactly what I think these guys have tried to do. It's essentially cherry pick. Let's move in a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, and that's to edge and IMG Academy's 4-star Jake Kroll. Now, the thing with Jake is we're about to see some really good tape. This kid brings a violence to his game I love. There's certain defensive players that just play with a level of intensity that's just a little bit different. It's a couple notches higher than others. Here's the thing with Kroll that you need to know. One, he's just getting angry right now. Somebody must have knocked his helmet off. He's just doing violent things. You like to see that. Reminds me of Dalton Santos, his high school tape at Van. He was just violent. Steve Edmond, his high school tape at Dangerfield. It was just car crashes every other down. This guy's important for multiple reasons. Number one, they've only got one edge in this cycle, Richard Wesley.
Right.
Number two, they've missed on some guys, Jamarian Carlton, Jaraylin McCoy, Trenton Henderson. Right. And then this is a guy that, if you miss on those others, but you get Richard Wesley and a Jake Kroll, that's as a successful edge group as you can ask for. Texas is in the mix. He dropped the top 3, I want to say, a couple weeks ago. Oklahoma, Texas, Ole Miss. It looks like it's going to be a Texas OU battle. Oklahoma has been recruiting this kid for the longest time. Yeah. He's been on campus in Norman the most. Talk about his tape a little bit. Talk about his fit at Texas and just how important this guy. He's not making a decision until October, right? But Sark kind of likes that. He'll play the long game with these guys. They need another edge. How could this guy fit and help?
Yeah, look, I love this kid, man. First of all, I love his get off, man. He's just so explosive off the line of scrimmage, man. Like most offensive tackles just do not have a chance versus this kid. But I love his aggressiveness. He's one of those kids, man. He'll fight you too. Like I don't care if you want to fight on the football field, we can do that. We can take it off the field. Like, I just love his attitude and everything he brings to the game. Not only that, I think he fits at Texas. As that guy who can get after the quarterback, but he gets it from a business standpoint too. If anybody follows this kid on social media, he has a follow and building a brand, kind of like Tyler Atkinson has done. So if you check him out there, he's talking about all the workouts and all the work he puts in to get ready for game day and what he does at IMG. So he's building a business off the field too. So this is a really, really smart kid who gets it. And what a better place than Texas to build your brand on and off the field, man. I think this is a complete type of a prospect.
He's got some Tasmanian devil to him. That's kind of what I see in him. He just, and you want that type of level. David Keith Williams, our man Williams David, comes through. Jake Kroll is a very good recruit, but his level of explosiveness is nowhere near as high as Trenton Henderson. I'm not sure Kroll could be a great college DN. He may be good, but I don't see the high upside. Coach Williams, I need you to teach David Williams why he's wrong.
Hey, man, we share the last name, but we do not share the same opinion with this one. Jake Kroll is an absolute stud of defensive end. Yeah, I'm not going to have him as a freshman with his hand in the dirt, taking on double teams and trying to set the edge. He's coming in for one reason, to get after the quarterback, and he can do that very well, much like Anthony Hill did as a freshman, much like Colin Simmons did. You just kind of let these kids go. He's unblockable. I hate to bring this up. It's going to look like Cam Williams versus look, I forgot his name. The kid from Ohio State on the fourth down stop versus Ohio State. Jack Sawyer. That's what it's going to look like. Whoever faces this guy each and every time. He's too quick off the edge, man. He's strong. He's powerful. Has an array of moves already as a young 17-year-old, man. You don't see that at this level. But he's a pass rush specialist. I'm not asking him to defend the run and hold up double teams and set the edge, right? Trenton Henderson may be a bigger guy to do that. But this is a pass rush specialist. So first of all, they're not even the same type of edge to me whatsoever. But yeah, Jake Kroll is an absolute stud, and I think he'd be absolute good. He has a high upside, just as anybody in this 2026 class.
I don't see how you can sit, and we love Williams David, by the way. I don't see how you can lacks explosiveness and watch this tape for the last 4 minutes. Like, I don't see how that's even possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes, David, if you're just listening to us, you got to watch. We just showed a bunch of tape where it showed a lot of dynamite coming off the edge. A really good first step. But that's not what I love about him. I just love his aggressiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I just love exactly how and then he cut. All right, Dave, we got a little bit more here from David Williams. He says, considering both careers in high school, I viewed Colton Vosick as a higher upside and better DM than Jake Kroll. It's unfortunate Vosick has had so many injuries. Hey, I think he's going to be healthy this year. I think that's the biggest thing with Vosick, who also had tremendous tape. Vosick was killing folks as well.
Yeah.
But Kroll's kind of a different athlete, in my opinion. Vosick had the frame. Kroll's already filled in. Like, he's got the body. He is stout and sturdy. And so I think that's going to actually help him a lot. But yeah, Jake Kroll, just listen to this. Like, Texas loves him. It's going to come down to Texas and Oklahoma. So David Williams, be sure to check out a little bit more of his tape, because I think you're going to like him a little bit more than you do. He's crazy, and that's what we like about him. All right, we're going to talk about an offensive tackle / tight end / athlete / offensive tackle / tight end. And that's Florida commit Hezi Kent. Now, we're talking about him simply so we can play the highlights.
Right.
Because these are so much fun to watch. A kid at 6'6", 330 pounds. When we were talking about him 3 months ago, Charlie, he was 280, 285. And we thought, man, that's really big for a tight end. If he stops eating today, maybe he could fit into that tight end frame, that tight end mold or whatever. Now he's been weighed again, and he's tipping the scales between 320 and 330. I bring him up also because Texas, they want a tight end in this class, and they've talked to Kent about playing tight end. Here he is playing Wildcat. So as much as Texas has told him, and Miami's told him the same thing, hey, you can play tight end. You have that.
Sure.
Is this kid does he have a realistic chance at playing tight end at the next level, or is this an offensive tackle and potentially a really good one that just so happens to have a good arm throwing off platform?
And he can pass. Look, the first time I saw this kid, I said Jason Peters. I'm sorry. I said, you want to play tight end, but you're a tackle, kid. Like, you could be a first-round tackle. You're super athletic. So I saw Jason Peters from the jump when I first saw this kid. So, yeah, somebody might tell him, yeah, you can play tight end, but when you get here in fall camp, you weigh how much? Okay, go to the offensive line room, right? Like, that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's okay. Left tackles make a lot of money. So go be a tackle, go be an all-pro tackle. You have the athleticism, the footwork, and everything else, man. Maybe they'll throw you one of those screens that Herman did with was it Connor Williams? Who caught
he could be the jumbo. He could be
the jumbo or catch one of those little screen passes and throw back to the lineman and let you go score. I don't know, but yeah, you're an offensive tackle, and that's okay. Go be a great one because you have all the tools to be so.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of a couple guys. One, Keoti Armstrong. The big 4-star out of Jasper last year that signed with Texas A&M. Like, he looks like easily looks like a future tight end, but could play offensive tackle. And the people that recruited him at that, they didn't get him. Like, he said, no, man, I'm playing tight end. And that's where he wanted to play. And so with Kent, I'll tell you what's funny about Hezi Kent. I actually coached against Jason Peters. He played at Queen City High School in East Texas. We played him in the playoffs when I was at White Oak in basketball. Mm-hmm. He is not the athlete Kent is from a football standpoint. Like, Jason Peters was not doing this offensive stuff on Friday nights. On the other side, Jason Peters was a lot smoother than this guy. Jason Peters' feet were unbelievable. Like, he was so good on the block, and he had such a soft touch and stuff like that. And so Kent's one of those guys. That's what I'm talking about, living rent-free in UT. Kent would have been great in that 6-0 line package like Ogbo did. That's what I was talking about, the jumbo package. I believe Jaden Chapman's going to be taking on that role. It was Malik Ogbo the last couple of years. It was Andre Carrick the year before that. It's definitely something that people are wanting to look at. And so real quick, we're going to pay the bills. We got some stuff we want you to see from Roback. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the 27 targets. We also got a couple questions to answer from the viewers. So letter E.
There's only one way to describe Rhoback: best fit, best feel. For those who aren't familiar with Rhoback, they are completely changing the game with their incredibly comfortable activewear. Rhoback has released so many items within their new licensed game day collection, and it's our favorite. With novel polo designs and clean hoodie and Q-zip designs from some of your favorite schools like Texas, it's definitely worth checking out. Nobody else on the market is pairing these level of custom designs with this quality of activewear. Rhoback's everyday shorts or their Delta Performance pants are the perfect pairing as well. Both are super comfortable, have an elastic waistband, and great fabric that's made to have the appearance of a nice short look, but the comfort for a day on the move. Rhoback has also been proudly leading the NIL charge, having signed partnerships with multiple college football stars like Quinn Ewers. They are becoming the go-to brand for college athletes across the country. Use the code TEXAS20 on Rhoback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's RHOBACK.com and 20% off all performance polos, shorts, and more with TEXAS20.
Rhoback is the way to go. I've got a couple of those things. Those things are so freaking comfortable, man. Absolutely love mine. Couple questions before we jump into the latest on a few of the 2027 targets. Another one from David Williams. Here we go. Much of Longhorn Nation thinks Malachi Lee is the primary flip option. And there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
They've read a lot of Inside Texas, so they know.
Had to.
Do you think John Turntime's likelihood of playing left tackle may be more practical to get Sam Rosenborough? Charlie, I'm going to let you help me on that one because I think he's overthinking this a little bit.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, he's overthinking, and that's okay because David Williams is a very analytical man. He thinks through his stuff, but this is a case of overthinking recruiting, I believe. Turntime isn't destined to play left tackle, is he? Like he's an offensive tackle. He could play right tackle. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which. Yeah, I'm gonna let you answer this for him.
Look, John Turntime does not care left tackle or right tackle. He just wants to play on the offensive line and go dominate people.
Yeah,
his words. He just wants 4 of the guys who wants to compete and knock people backwards all day long. That's all he wants. He wants people just as good as him, if not better, to join him in this class so that they can go compete and win a championship. So it does not matter to him where he plays. He does not have an ego whatsoever. He just wants guys with the same mindset as him to dominate up front. So wherever you put him at, he's going to be good with.
Yeah, the practicality doesn't factor in here. Samuel Roseboro, if Texas wanted him, they would have pushed for him in the OV, and they would have got him before he ever arrived in College Station.
Yeah.
With Malachi Lee, that's a guy that you envision him at left tackle. But these guys aren't going in saying, okay, I'm only playing left tackle, and if I don't get this spot, I'm looking somewhere else. They're 17 years old, right? They're not looking in that direction. So, yeah, a little overthinking there, but that's not going to be the case. The likelihood of flip options is Malachi Lee. I know Zayden Crimpin would be really, really tough to flip at this point, but Texas is going to still try.
Right.
They like Samuel Roseboro. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple other targets pop up because they definitely need another offensive tackle. And then I'm going to answer this question with Brett Nelson real quick, and then we're going to jump into 2027 targets. Brett said, when are we getting our class of 27 quarterback? The past few quarterbacks have committed by this time in the summer. I told Kavian Bryant the exact same thing last week. I said, Texas usually has their guy by now. Like, they usually don't wait this long. So, Brett, when are they going to get their class of 27 quarterback? I'm going to say whenever Kavian Bryant wakes up, calls Sark, and commits.
There you go.
That's going to be my best guess. When does that happen? No clue. There's some variables to this recruitment that are different than other quarterback recruitments, namely the Charlie Ward factor. Yes. Because Kavian Bryant is an unbelievable basketball player. He's not an athlete that's just playing basketball while he's not playing football. It's born and bred in this kid. This family lives and dies basketball. And so that's part of the equation in this recruitment. Now, Sark and Sean Miller, Texas head basketball coach, have talked. They've spoke to each other. They're fine taking a kid to see if he could go, play both. And our Joe Cook said it best in a reply last week when we posted this story on Kavian. These things tend to work themselves out.
Right.
They really do. And if I know Sark's going to just take his time. He's not going to rush the process. Yes, Texas is used to having that quarterback from the class before around the summertime.
Yeah.
Different variable this year. Plus, you're getting the guy after Diabell. Okay? You know what that tells me? You're probably not going to get the high-end, most expensive 5-star. Mm-hmm. They're not going to follow Diabell in theory. They don't want to come behind him. You may get – this might be the developmental class. And Kavian Bryant has as much upside as any quarterback in the country, but there needs to be some development there. It's not like a Diabell or an Arch Manning. He's more athletic, but there needs to be some more development there. And that's partly because he plays so many sports, and namely basketball. Like he's every other weekend, this guy's on the road, and you should see his basketball highlights. They are truly fantastic. Let's hit on a couple 2027 target must-get guys just real quick. Kennedy Brown, number 1 on the board, number 1 in the state, number 1 in my heart.
Yeah.
Kennedy Brown, Humble Kingwood, big offensive tackle. I think I fell in love when we met him on junior day.
He almost break your hand too?
It's still sore. Like anytime I open a Gatorade, it pops. I hear pops in my hand. And that's because that's the Kennedy Brown factor. That's what he does. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing. I can't poke any holes at this kid. Like
no.
Total package. How important is he in this cycle for Texas, Charlie?
I mean, you look at maybe how Texas finishes the 26 cycle as far as offensive linemen. If you don't get the guys you want, that is your priority, right? He's your priority to get for 27. You got to get him solidified. Another tackle that you'll probably need, right, to add for depth and can play. So he'd be super, super important depending on how they finish with the 26 class. Even if you get another guy in the 26 class, he's still a priority in 27 because the pipeline that Kyle Flood has developed, wherever you're 3 and out around here, you need another guy to come right behind at left tackle or right tackle. So, yeah, he's super important.
Flood's got the assembly line going, and that is going to be something that I think helps with Kennedy Brown. Also understand this recruitment is going to go the distance, people. He has got every school in the country clamoring for his services, so just hold on loosely and be patient. Let's go on the other side. Give me the number. I think I know your answer. Who's the top defensive player on this big board? Who is the must-get at defense on this big board? Who is the one guy that Sark and PK look at each other with a twinkle when they say his name?
I'm going to go with John Meredith here out of Euless Trailer.
Oh, you flipped it on me. I thought you were going to go with Jalen Punky Brewster.
Okay, look.
No. Listen, you have a good argument. You give me your John Meredith take in a minute. I'm going to give you my Brewster take in a minute.
That's the good one. And Brewster, if you're watching this, you know we're like this.
I was about to say, I was trying to set you up.
We're like family, Jalen. You know that. But, man, John Meredith, it's rare you see a guy 6'3", a legit 6'3", runs and moves like he does at cornerback. I know you said there's no such thing as a like true shutdown type of corner in high school. He's the closest thing. And at that height, he can play against bigger receivers. He can cover the small, twitchy receivers. You name it. I think he ran a 4.3 something at the Under Armour camp or one of those camps. Laser time.
Oh my!
He can move. He can run. He can jump. You name it. He can do it all. And I think he's a guy that solidifies the number 1 corner that you get in the 27 class. But to your point, the guy that's going to put pressure on the quarterback to give him time to cover receivers, Jalen Brewster. I think 1A, 1B. There you go.
You need both.
Yeah.
For this machine to run well, to be a well-oiled machine, you got to have both. To me, John Meredith looks like a kid that was born and raised to play cornerback in football. Like he has the frame, that ranginess, that twitchiness, that wingspan that we see NFL scouts covet at that level. And obviously college as well. And here's something else about John Meredith. That dude is playing early, no matter where he goes. He's playing early. When we talked to him after after the July or June elite camp, we spoke to him, and he had mentioned about how they had a couple guys get drafted last year, Jadae Barron notably. They'll have a couple more after this year. And he said, I'll have an opportunity to come in and play right away. They want me to play my first year. And I think that's an excellent sales pitch for a guy like John Meredith. Now, on the flip side, you got to have Jalen Brewster.
You do.
They go together so well, like peanut butter and jelly. They go together well. And so the thing you got to remember about Jalen Brewster is that every single class you've got to go big on D-line and D-tackle.
You do.
Kenny Baker has proven they'll go to bat for anybody in the country. flipping the number one defensive tackle last couple weeks ago from Georgia, J.J. Johnson, out of Florida. That was huge. Getting Vodney Cleveland, Corey Wells, and Dylan Berryman all within about, 2 weeks? I mean, that made June. You and I both did reports on grades over the summer, and I gave Kenny Baker an A+. I'm like,
definitely
this guy's
A+.
cooking on a grill like it's the family cookout. Like Kenny's baking right now. And so that's the best thing there. But I'm with you. I think you got to have one with the other. I really do. I think you have to have one with the other. I will give you one more prospect on a final note. When I saw after I saw Kavian Bryant, I went to see another top target as offensive tackle, Ismail Kamara. He can play all 5 spots.
Oh my God.
William Davis was kind of worried earlier about kids wanting to play a specific position on the offensive line. Kamara's like turn time. Give me 4 dudes that want to fight like I do, and I'll play wherever you want.
Yeah.
Left tackle is where Kyle Flood has told Kamara they like him. But he could, like they also said, you could play any of these spots. I asked Kamara, I was like, have you ever thought about being the blind side or blocking that backside for Kavian Bryant? And he's just giant smile, huge smile. I was like, you guys maybe need to talk to each other a little bit, get on the same page a little bit. And it's early, but that's why we were talking about 2027s. And so at the end of the day, listen, I'll get one more. Here we go. David Williams, as acclaimed as a lot of the 2027 recruits are, I actually think Peyton Miller could be the most important recruit. Whoo, okay. I'm trying to keep it above level. I like Peyton Miller. I think that's the kid out of Anna.
Yeah.
6'5", 280, 290. Good-looking kid.
Yeah.
I think they made a run in state last year. Pretty good deep playoff run. Got to check him out a little bit. He might be number 6 or 7, Coach. I mean,
I saw him play in person. I went to one of his games. I went to go watch Anna play someone I forgot this past season. And to me, I don't even think he plays tackle at college. I think he plays center. I think he doesn't have the frame to play. I mean, he has some height, but I think he's more of a center. He just looks more of a Jake Major-ish type of guy to me. David. Now, like I said, I love you because you got the same last name, but Peyton Miller. I think
Peyton Miller has the potential to be Creed Humphrey type of center for Texas. Hey, absolutely. Peyton Miller can play the interior. I always envisioned him as a tackle because we've been following him for a little over a year. But he is smart. He's savvy. He could definitely play that center, that interior spot. But listen, David, so you can understand kind of the pecking order of 2027 offensive tackles. It starts with Kennedy Brown. Yeah. It starts there. That's the important recruit. You can't say another recruit is more important than Kennedy Brown.
No.
After that, it's Caden Scott, offensive tackle out of San Antonio Roosevelt. Hey, buddy, you got your left tackle. You got to get your right tackle.
Exactly.
Damari Johnson, Big Juicy out of Tyler Legacy. He's another one with 30-something offers, probably a little higher than Peyton Miller. And then the guy we just talked about, Ismail Kamara, definitely much higher on the big board for Texas than a Peyton Miller. But I like where Williams is thinking. He's out of the box.
I like it.
And sometimes we need that out of the box perspective. Yeah. If you had to, okay, man, we're going to keep laying them out for him. Let's go. If you both had to state your most likely 3 flip options, who would they be? At this point, I think I'd like to see Texas get Trenton Henderson, Malachi Lee, and Jalen Lott. Why don't you just throw Jared Curtis in there while you're at it? No, I'm joking. Give me one flip option you want really bad right now, Charlie. I'll give you one flip option I want really bad.
I'm a trenches guy, so I'm going to leave Jalen Lott out. I'm going to go between Trenton and Malachi Lee. I'm going to go with Malachi Lee just because I know for a fact tackle depth, we need tackles. Yeah. Not saying we don't need Trenton Henderson just as bad because he plays edge and trenches. I just think we can go all in on Jake Cruel. So I'm going to go Malachi Lee.
I want Jake Cruel as well. Like I just there's nothing you can't love about this tape. Trenton Henderson is right there. There's not a big difference in them at all. If anything, Trenton's the more athletic guy. I think he's even taller, a little bit longer, a little bit more freaky. I think Trenton might be the higher guy. Either one would flourish in PK system at Texas. Mm-hmm. Either one would be well. I'm going to go with Trenton, and even knowing that I want Cruel as well. That way, I don't double down on Malachi Lee. But I will say this with this disclaimer: Malachi Lee, I told our staff that's the flip guy the day after he committed to Michigan. I said, look, I think Malachi Lee is the kid. Texas was his first offer. They did a tremendous job in the recruitment. I think if things went a little bit different in those first couple weeks of June, he is already committed to this class. If they didn't know the Ojo thing was coming, I think Malachi Lee is already a commit in this Texas class.
Yep.
And so I'm with Joe. I'm with Charlie there. I really like that. But at the same time, I'll take a Trenton Henderson. If I can't get a Jake Kroll, I'll take a Trent. You put any of those guys opposite Richard Wesley, and this is a top 5 class again.
I agree.
Maybe top 3. And you know how you climb up those rankings is getting 5 stars. You get those guys in the mix, and I think that's what they've done. Charlie, we went 30 minutes.
We did.
We went 30 minutes. Our producer said he wanted us to go 20 or 25 minutes. And we were like, no, we don't do that. We've got fans.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got viewers that need this intel. They need this information. I got a guy in the back of my ear, Connor's telling me, hey, we need to break. And it's like, no, I'm fulfilling all this. We're taking care of our fans. That's how we do it at InsideTexas.com. Hey, we have so much stuff going up today in the next few days. Coaches availability today, Joe Cook, Evan Veith, all those guys are hanging out at DKR getting all that good stuff. Check us out for that. At the same time, please come see us at InsideTexas.com. Recruiting updates, team stuff starts tomorrow. We will have that thing top to bottom. Mm-hmm. Come see us on the YouTube channel because we're always going to have those practice videos. We're always going to have those post-practice videos that people love to kind of get caught up on. And so, Charlie, thank you so much for any parting shots, or are you a man of few words?
No, look, man, a few words today, man. Look, I appreciate you. You carried us, man. Justin brought the energy, man. He's got the juice himself today.
I don't know where I got it. I'll be honest with you. I'm dragging, but that's just because I'm ready. I'm so ready. And so thank you again for making us a part of your day and joining us on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com.